Collecting and displaying miniatures isn't just child's play. It's become a serious hobby for grown-ups who even buy fine silver in miniature. Avid collectors spare no expense. Because after all, it's the little details that make the difference. In the world of miniatures, there's no need to downsize one's expectations. Here you can find all the little luxuries. This silverware is no cheap reproduction. It's a tiny version of the real thing. To make it, silversmiths use tools and techniques that have been handed down over generations. This is a workbench from the 18th century. Today, they use one that's nearly identical. To make a miniature mug, workers begin by dividing its measurements by 12, so that the finished product will have the same proportions as the original. Next, a strip of silver is rolled out to about 2/100ths of an inch thick. Then, small round discs are punched out. A blast from a torch softens them so they'll be easier to work with. A dunking in acid eats away any impurities and leaves a frosty finish. One of these discs is set on a lathe. As it spins, a series of tools begin to give the thimble-sized mug its shape. Any mistake is a big one when you're working in such tiny dimensions, so the silversmiths have to work with great care. During the machining process, the frosty finish left by the acid is removed. The mug is buffed to add luster to its finish. And now it's time to make the mug's base. It's tapered to make a perfect fit. Small fragments of silver solder are placed between the two pieces. Then, the parts are heated to almost 1500 degrees to fuse them together. Next, leftover silver pieces are cut up, and the scraps go into a crucible. A pinch of borax is added. This mineral will prevent unwanted oxides from forming as the scraps are melted down. Silver is far too precious, so workers don't want to waste even a single scrap. The molten silver is poured into a plaster mold. Then the mold is plunged into cold water. The temperature change causes the plaster to explode, exposing 3 tiny silver handles. One of the handles is soldered onto the little silver mug. And now, all the pieces of the miniature are in place. Next, the miniatures are placed in a bucket of steel shot and soapy water. The friction cleans and polishes them. The soapy water is strained out, and the gleaming miniatures are revealed. Each silver miniature has to meet the same purity standards as full-sized silver pieces. In this factory in Britain, the regular